Hi everyone, here we are on another grey Moscow afternoon. But I thought I'd chip in with something. Have you ever heard the old expression, every day's a school day? Well, I've been a teacher more years than I care to remember, and I like to learn something new every day. Well, a few days ago, I learned something about the oldest watch I have. It was a real eye-opener, I suppose you could call it. So hope you'll bear with me for a little story. This is the oldest watch that I have in my collection. This was a birthday present from my mum in 1992, and it's a Citizen. Right? And I got it from a mail order on the spot sort of thing. And so I didn't find out anything about it. They didn't sign the bracelet. They didn't tell me any technical details about it. But it was a lot cheaper than buying it in the local jewellers. So I thought we'd go with it. It's really nice. And then I wore it for years in Kazakhstan, and very tough piece. And as you'll see, it absorbed a lot of dirt. Okay, let's see if I can demonstrate this. I always thought you could only shake this. Not moving. Just tap it a bit. And yeah, off she goes. Now I've set it to the right day, date and time. It's Thursday the 4th. I'll check it tomorrow before I film the whole review. As you can see, with a couple of winds in and just a tap, it ran for about 6 hours, which isn't too bad, I suppose. So maybe it does hand wind after all. Well, there it is with the microscope, and when I bought it, it was just a Citizen automatic watch from Argos. Yeah, to reiterate, my mum bought me this as a birthday present in 1992. And she looked in the catalogue and said, get that one, don't get anything else. So I went to pick it up after work at Argos in Blackpool Town Centre. The thing about that is you don't get any help back sizing the bracelet, which I knew nothing about back then, or anything about the watch. It's just taken me until the last couple of weeks to understand that this is nothing less than a Citizen Eagle 7 from the late 80s, early 90s. And yeah, as I say, you always learn something. I learnt about the action, for example. I always thought you just shook it, but there are other things you can do. This is another watch YouTuber. His name, believe it or not, is Bad at Soldering, and he has the identical watch. He's making a review which is far better than mine, I think. I have, as you can see, I liked his video and I have subscribed. So thanks very much, Bad at Soldering. I had to wait until I saw your video before I thought, wow, that watch looks familiar. And I've owned one all along. So you learn something new every day, don't you? Well, according to Caliber Corner, which is a pretty reliable website, this Miyota 8200, whatever you want to call it, is supposed to, it's a automatic self-winding mechanical. Does it hand windable? It says yes. So that's why I had a go at it. For example, some of the videos I watched said you can actually hand wind this. I always thought it was just a bit like the an analogue of the Seiko Shako movements that you got. So I'm going to, its crown's tiny, I'm not sure if it's designed. Plus the fact that if there is a winder on this watch, it hasn't been used ever since 1992. So if I do that, just give it gentle but firm tap without shaking it, and sure enough it starts to move forward. So while we're looking at that, waiting for that to do things, we've got to do something rather disgusting and sort out the bracelet. Oh my goodness me. Oh me, oh my. If you think it looks a bit filthy now, you should have seen it when I took it off the watch head. I know some YouTubers who do watch repairs gleefully show you all the, what they call the DNA or the arm cheese. I got rid of an awful lot of long dead me out of this bracelet, and this watch has had some hard wear. I had it as a daily wear in Kazakhstan, and the climate there is not particularly forgiving. It's very hot or very cold. So I'm just going to not do anything elaborate. I'm just going to give it a little bath in some warm soapy water. Then I'm going to have a go at fitting it for me onto the watch again. So there it is, gently soaking. You can probably tell that it's not really gold at all, it's just plated. This is a steel bit. And I'm going to leave that for about 15 or 20 minutes, and I'm going to dry it off, everything off, and give it a careful pat dry, and see if there's any residue still left. Okay, we'll see what happens. Here's the watch at right angles with the crown up, and you can see that the amplitude is all over the place, as is the accuracy, and it's got a rather nasty beat error to it, but it's still doing the 6 ticks a second, so that means it's not totally knackered. We'll try it at another angle, see what happens. Oh dear, well the accuracy again is fluctuating, the amplitude's a bit wimpy, the beat error hasn't changed all that much, and we've still got the 6 ticks a second. So right now I'm in two minds whether or not to take the back off the watch and try and regulate. God knows what I'll find inside, but we shall see. I don't want to kill the watch because it's still kind of working. Do I want this as a functioning watch? I mean, it's mostly sentimental value. As I say, it was a birthday present from my mum, who's no longer around, and it was a long time ago, and I've had a lot of hard use out of this piece, and I do kind of like it, but I might just take the back off and size up the situation then. Hope you'll excuse the lighting. You can probably make out that the case is in pretty bad condition, and I frankly haven't got the skill or the equipment to replate it, so I'll have to leave that for now. You can see it's a brass case with what's, I think, yellow plating on it or something, and that's just beyond help. That crown looks a bit done in as well, even though the last 30 odd years I've only used it for setting the day and date and adjusting the time. But we might have a quick look underneath the stainless steel case back and see what we can see. I did give it a good go to try and take off the case back, but it's probably so gunked up after all these years that it might need professional help. But what I might be able to do is to try and get the bracelet fitted and back on the watch. So I'm awfully sorry about that. I don't know. I wasn't this much of a disappointment to my mum, I can assure you, but maybe to myself. Hopefully not to you guys too much. This is its third water replacement, and it's still weak in gunk, so I'm going to give it a little scrub with a toothbrush and see what happens. Oh, God knows what will happen. Well, after about 4 soakings in warm soapy water and a run under a cold tap, it's actually shaped up really well. Don't know how much cleaner it looks now, but I'll give you a little, for want of a better word, taste of, like I say, this is after, oh my goodness me, look at that after. for a couple of soaks. It just seemed never to stop. At least that's where I don't want to do the same thing with the watch case because it's only classed as splash resistant. I'm going to have to get some of that that stuff it's alcohol, but you can't drink it, and perhaps give it a quick dip in that to see if it'll loosen up the filth around the case back ring. I'm going to leave this up for a little while on some dry kitchen paper and soak out all the excess drops of water before I start faffing about with the bracelet. It's looking a bit nicer now, I suppose. Not so sure about the watch itself, but that might be a project for another day. In the meantime, I'm going to try and put the bracelet back together and size it for my wrist. When I first got this watch, it was quite tight. It was turning my hand blue because I was a big boy back then. Now I've lost a little bit, and I suppose my wrist has shrunk. It's still around 18, 19 centimetres. But I'll have a go at showing you how to take the links out of this bracelet. As you can see, the bracelet looks quite neat and shiny now, but it's still rather a generous fit for my slightly reduced wrist. So let's see what we can do about that. Basically, we have to stick a screwdriver in these little holes. The arrows are so small you can't really see them. You just push up and you take out those clamps. I'll show you that in a moment. It's great fun. The trick here is to get a sort of screwdriver into this notch in the direction of the arrow, which is here, and then see if you can coax that out. You see it's already standing a bit proud, so let's keep going with that. Oh, blimey. I've still got a bit of dirt in them, I think. Well, I'm going to wrestle and swear with this for a little bit longer. Yeah, just give that a moment. Well, you don't want to use brute force unless you absolutely have to. Let's try and get that into there. Right. Yeah, so you can see, hopefully, this thing comes out. And yeah, it's tiny, isn't it? It's also in the shape of an F at the top. I've been doing a lot of effing and blinding. So let's see what we can do there. So we've unhooked that part of the bracelet from the other part. We've still got the effing thing there. Finally, we took out the 3 links. We probably need to size it up a bit better. You can see we've got the F things. There's still a lot of dirt in this, I've got to say. So it's not a lot of fun, is it? This is filth. So even though it probably needed some of that isopropyl alcohol, but I just didn't have any to hand. I don't think vodka would do the trick. So I'm going to try and put all the bracelet back together and attach it to the watch. So, see in a bit of effing and blinding. So we've slid the little effing thing back in there into the bracelet, and then we have to sort of make that with a bit of finesse, you see? Oh, that's not too bad. Now we're just going to reattach the rest of the bracelet to the watch. Should be easy. Yeah, that looks a bit more comfortable. It looks a lot cleaner, although there's still plenty of dirt in the bracelet. So nothing of the watch itself. It's a lot, well, about the most comfortable it's ever been. It's not turning my hand blue, not especially, and it's not jangling around like a jangly thing. Although if it jangles around like a jangly thing, it whines, which is rather good. Okay, so let's have a look at something else a minute. So while I was relaxing with the Citizen bracelet, I've had this on my wrist, which is a Vostok Komandyrski Retro K43. And I've had this a few years, but I must say, it's given me a pretty good time. I've had it going since Wednesday, that's 4 days, and it's, it's gained about 25 seconds, so it's about 6 seconds a day, so I'm quite pleased with that. And you might remember me in a previous video talking about the dead Bolton solar chronograph. Well, the retailer came up with like a good one, and I've got a new movement. So, and I think, given my performance with the Citizen, I'm going to pay a bit and take this to a proper watch repairer to fit the movement. Can't say fairer than that. That reminds me, I must update my wallpaper photos soon. You can just see on the left, I have the Vostok Retro, and there's my Orient Star, first Russian watch I ever bought, the Komandyrski, the Amphibious Scuba Dude, and a Square G-Shock. So I might put some different ones in the next photo, but I might keep 1 or 2 in anyway. Well, that was a bit of a story. I hope you liked it. As I say, I'd never get rid of this. It's got too much sentimental value. And even my more recent acquisitions, like the Vostok Retro, they don't really come close. Just a quick thing is that the next watch I buy, well, I've got one coming with the Seiko movement, I hope, if it clears customs. And then I'm not going to buy anything until about February. Like I say, it will be mechanical. It will probably have a Miyota movement. I'll say no more than that. So in the meantime, I hope everybody has a wonderful Sunday. Take care, and I'll probably see you all too soon for your liking. Blessings, cheers, bye.